Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Michael Harris. Today, I want to have a conversation with you, especially those of you over 50, about something that sounds simple, but in truth, it shapes so much of our health, our happiness, and even our future: the power of habits. Have you ever asked yourself, why do some people our age always look so full of energy, walking briskly, while we feel heavy and tired? The difference isn't just in genetics. Most of it comes down to the small daily habits. I remember a patient, 62 years old, who once told me, "Doctor, every time I try to change, I give up because I think it's too late." But the truth is, it's never too late to start a good habit. Even after 60, 70 years old, our brain still has the ability to create new connections. Science calls this neuroplasticity. But how do we make a small habit stick instead of fading away after a few days? The secret is to start small. If you want to walk every day, don't set the goal of 1 hour right away. Start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes may sound like nothing, but it creates the first victory, a tiny but powerful feeling. A habit needs a cue and a reward to last. For example, I often tell patients to put their walking shoes right next to the bed. That's the cue. After finishing the walk, reward yourself with a nice cup of tea or call a friend and say, "I did it today." That's the reward. Our brain loves the repetition of this circle: cue, action, reward. I want you to imagine, after 1 year, just 5 minutes a day adds up to more than 30 extra hours of movement for your body. And movement doesn't just keep the heart healthy, it sharpens memory and reduces the risk of Alzheimer's. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't starting, it's staying consistent. Another patient of mine was enthusiastic for the first 2 weeks, then quit. Why? She had no one to remind her. So I advised her to invite a close friend to walk with her. And as expected, with a companion, she has kept the habit going for over a year now. You see, habits are not just personal, they are tied to environment and community. Sometimes, just a reminder, a supportive glance, is enough to keep us from giving up. And the last thing I want to say today: be kind to yourself. If you miss a day, don't blame yourself. Just get back to it the next day. A habit doesn't need to be perfect, it only needs to be nurtured with patience. If you found this message helpful, please hit like, share, and subscribe so we can spread this message to more people. I believe that every good habit we plant is a seed of health for the whole community. My friends, in the previous part, one shared about starting small habits and using rewards as motivation. Today, I want to go a little deeper. How do we keep habits alive in the long run, even when our initial motivation fades? I've been a doctor for over 30 years, most of that time working with patients over 50. I realized something. Everyone has motivation at the beginning, but the true test comes when boredom or fatigue sets in. Have you ever started exercising for a few weeks, then one morning it's cold and rainy, and you say to yourself, well, skipping today won't hurt? According to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 70% of Americans over 50 do not maintain a regular exercise habit. The reason isn't because they don't know exercise is good for them, but because they lack a system to sustain it. And here's the key: don't rely only on willpower, build a supportive environment. One of my patients, Robert, had failed many times to control his diabetes. He used to eat sweets whenever stressed. Together, we set a rule: no candy in the house, replace it with fruit. This small change helped him maintain healthier eating habits for the long run. Mayo Clinic has emphasized that when a healthy behavior is linked to the right environment, the chance of maintaining it doubles. That means, if you want to do yoga, keep a mat in the living room. If you want to drink more water, keep a water bottle right on your desk. In addition, tracking and journaling is just as important. I often advise patients to write down their schedule or use a phone app to check off each time they complete a habit. According to Harvard Health, self-monitoring helps the brain recognize progress, which sparks the motivation to keep going. But I also know sometimes patients say, "I've tried so many times, but I still fail." That's when I tell them, focus on progress, not perfection. Even the AHA, American Heart Association, emphasizes that just 150 minutes of light to moderate exercise a week, broken into 20 to 30 minutes a day, can significantly improve heart health. Nobody is asking you to be perfect from day one. And I also want to share this. When we maintain healthy habits, we're not doing it only for ourselves. According to the American Cancer Society, people who maintain a healthy lifestyle, balanced diet, no smoking, regular exercise, lower their risk of cancer by up to 42% compared to those who don't. That means the habits we build today are a gift to our children and grandchildren tomorrow. Before we close, I want to ask you, today, what small but meaningful habit can you choose to begin? Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water, taking a 5-minute walk, or calling an old friend. One small action, but it plants the seed for a big change. If you found this story helpful, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread healthy habits together, so not only we as individuals grow stronger, but our whole community benefits as well. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Harris. This is the final part of my series on the secret to building and maintaining effective habits. Today, I want to talk about two important things: how to evolve habits in the long run, and how to deal with setbacks without giving up. Habits are like trees. When first planted, they are small and fragile. But over time, with care, they grow, blossom, and bear fruit. After a few years, we may need to change how we care for them. Add fertilizer, prune branches. Habits work the same way. They need to evolve through different stages of life. For example, one of my patients, Linda, started with 10-minute walks at age 55. After 2 years, she felt stronger but wanted more challenge. Together, we moved to brisk walking with hill climbs. That's the evolution of a habit, from simple to advanced, from maintenance to growth. The NIH, National Institutes of Health, encourages that once a habit is stable, we should stack a new one on top of it. If you're already walking every morning, add 5 minutes of deep breathing or meditation. Our body and mind will enjoy double benefits. But none of us are perfect. There are days when we miss a habit. There are times of illness or stress when we fall back into old routines. The important thing is not letting one failure turn into total surrender. Harvard Health once wrote, "A broken habit doesn't mean failure. It's just a pause, and you can always pick it up again tomorrow." I often tell my patients, treat every slip as a lesson. Ask yourself, what made me quit? What can I adjust? Tom, 68, tried to quit smoking 5 times. Each failure left him ashamed and frustrated. I reminded him that according to the American Diabetes Association, the average person makes 6 to 7 attempts before quitting for good. When he realized failure was part of the journey, he became more patient, and on the 6th try, he succeeded. The CDC also emphasizes flexibility is key. If you can't exercise 30 minutes a day, break it into 3 sessions of 10 minutes. Instead of quitting, adjust it to fit your situation. A Mayo Clinic study found that people who forgave themselves after setbacks were twice as likely to return to their habits compared to those who blamed themselves harshly. This proves that self-kindness isn't weakness. It's the strength to go the distance. That's why my final message today is, habits are not a straight line, but a journey with many turns. The important thing isn't speed, it's the ability to return and keep walking. If you found this video series helpful, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends and family, so together we can grow strong habits like lasting trees, giving shade to the next generations.